Selamat pagi, Bu Nurnala. Yes, we have not started the program. Bapak Ibu, if you can hear my voice, would you please thumbs up in your chat box. Perhaps you can type thumbs up in your chat box. Okay, thank you very much, Bu Dewi Sartika. Yes.
Praise the Lord for sending me you, my love. You found your home and still with me, and I'm here with you. Now let me let you know. You've opened my heart. I was always thinking that love was wrong, but everything was changed when you came along. Oh, and there's a couple words I wanna say.
Hey, good morning. Welcome, Bapak Ibu. We are still waiting for Professor M.R. Salim from the Ministry of Religious Affairs. Yeah, perhaps he will be late joining this program, so we hope that you will be patient. Okay, we have already 134 participants, and we have many more in the waiting list that we need to verify it. Yeah. Spooner Afia. Yeah, we mute all the participants and the co-host and the host as well. Yeah, we haven't started the webinar yet. We have about 158 participants already joining the webinar room, and there are still lots of people are put in the waiting list that we need to verify. Bapak Ibu, if you do not use your names used in the registration, we cannot verify that you are allowed to join the webinar zone. There are many people here using names, nicknames, and using their smartphone brand as the profile name. Yeah, we cannot let them in. We are sorry for that. Yeah, we are still waiting for Professor Arskal Salib to join our webinar to give the keynote speech. Tamal, okay. Actually, we have already sent to all participants yesterday and this morning that we strongly recommend that you use names used in the registrations to make the verification easy and quick. Yeah. So I think that we have already put in the message box in the waiting list. If you have not changed the profile name, you still have time to change the profile name.
Hello, Bu Hasnul. How are you, Bu Hasnul? Are you there? Pak Handoko, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Professor Juliati.
Yes,
Is it clear?
Yes, it's very clear.
clear.
Oh, okay, thank you.
What about my voice, Pak Han?
Yes, your voice is very
All
clear,
right.
Ms.
Yeah,
Raula.
that's great then.
Yeah. Thank you, Bu Imelda, for giving a very prompt response. Yeah, you can go to participants and then click your name, click rename, then change your profile name. Yeah, thank you very much, Bu Imelda. Yeah, Bu Farija Kusnawati. Yeah, this is the first time using Zoom. Okay, there is always the first time. Okay, it's okay, Bu Farija Kusnawati.
So dear participant, if you want to have your breakfast, then you are allowed to do so while waiting our keynote speaker.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You don't have to wait there sitting and doing nothing waiting for us. That's okay. You can enjoy what you have on your table now. So Pak Han, how many participants in the waiting room?
We got 16 people are waiting now, but yeah, there are some of them that I cannot let join the room because they use
Oh, we need to verify them first. Yeah, okay.
they use numbers, they use I don't know what it is, the brand of smartphone. Yeah, I'm sorry that we cannot let them in. Yusra, can you hear the voice now? Hello, good morning, Bu Hari Suki Hartini. Yes, good morning, Bu Meida, Bu Dewi Masito, Bapak Muhammad Nurdin from Banjarmasin. Very happy to have you all here. Okay, good morning, Pak Syahid from Padang. We have participants from Padang, we have from Banjarmasin, Bandar Lampung, from Malang, Mojokerto, Medan, that are throughout Indonesia. Welcome.
Hello, Bu Hasnul. Are you there now? Bu Hasnul, are you there?
Hi, hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bu Hasnul.
Yeah,
Okay, your voice is clear, Bu Hasnul, so it's okay.
yeah, thanks. Prof. Arskaus here, Handoko.
Not yet, Bu Hasnul, because Pak
What time
Arska,
he promised?
as soon as possible. The assistant said as soon as possible after the meeting finish, and then he will join us. Hopefully, it will not take a long time for joining our Zoom because it's already 8:50 now.
Yeah, maybe Mas Handoko, you can introduce what should the participants do after our seminar.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, give some information for them so you do not silent.
Yes. Bu Wahyu, would you please stop sharing the PowerPoint? Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Bapak Ibu, so this is one of many programs that will be held by the English department in collaboration with the Linguistics and Literature Associations. And this is the first webinar conducted by the English department of PTKI and also collaboration with the Linguistic and Literature Association. And today we have Prof. Arskal, and then the speakers, Prof. Zul and Purallah, and moderator will be Bu Hasnul. Okay, so the technicalities. So this actually has been sent to your reminder email yesterday and this morning. And so we strongly recommend you using the names to in registration to make the verification easy and quick. So we have many people here are in the waiting rooms since this morning, and we cannot let them in because they use not real name, because they use the name of the smartphone and their profile, so we cannot let them in. Okay, and after the presentations, we will have a 5-minute quiz that will be administered through Quizizz. I hope that you are already familiar with what Quizizz is. Yeah, it's just like Kahoot. Yeah, but today we will use Quizizz. So you have 5 minutes later at the end of our webinar, and those who can answer correctly and fast, they will be granted a 3-month free access to English Discovery. What is English Discovery? Okay, it will be explained by Ms. Raudatul Jannah. Ms. Raudatul Jannah, are you there?
Okay. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, we can hear your voice. So this is
Yes, all right.
Jana. She will explain about what English discovery is. Okay, thank you. And at the end of the webinar, a survey link will be posted in the chat box and to confirm your attendance. Okay, be sure that you input a correct email address because several days ago and also this morning and also yesterday we have tried to reach you all sending the emails, but there are lots of emails that is not delivered because they put wrong email. So please try to check again and again that you have already input correct email. And after you submit the survey link, and then the certificate will be automatically sent to your email. Okay. And this is additional information. If you are interested in joining the Linguistic and Literature Association, okay, you can register at this link, bit.ly/LITA Yeah. The member registration is 100,000 and you will get 50% discount until July 17th. Yeah. And transfer it to Bu Hasnul. Okay, some of you are asking about the contact person. Yeah, actually we here have the secretary of LITA, Bu Sahruni. Okay, I'm trying to find where Bu Sahruni is. Okay, maybe Bu Sahruni you can type in the chat box, introduce yourself. Yeah, Bu Sahruni is the secretary of LITA, so you may contact her for further information about LITA.
Welcome to Pak Arskal. Arskal is coming.
It's here, so I will stop sharing.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya, mohon maaf saya baru bisa join ini. Sudah dimulai ya?
Selamat datang, Prof. Belum, masih. Lagi.
Oke.
Pak Han langsung, Pak Han.
Okay, so we have all the keynote speaker and the speakers today, and then we will lock the meeting for now. And so that during the meeting, okay, we will not let anyone in anymore.
Ya, please go ahead. Please.
Yes.
Stop.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Honorable the Director of Islamic Higher Education, Ministry of Religious Affairs, Prof. Good morning, Prof.
Morning.
Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Respectable the speakers of this webinar, we have Prof. Zuliati Rahma and Ms. Rauda Turjana. Prof. Zuli and Ms. Rauda. Hello, Prof. Zuli.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay. Welcome, Prof. Zuli. Thank you for being here with us. And we have also Ms. Rauda Turjana. Hello, Ms. Rauda.
Yes, I'm here.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, we hope that everybody is healthy today. And also, the moderator of this webinar, we have Ibu Hasnul Insani, Johar PhD. Hello, Bu Hasnul.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Hasnul Insani, for being here with us. And also the chair of today's webinar, Dr. Aldo Ulmilan. Are you there?
I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of the participants of today's webinar. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, to start the webinar, we now invite Dr. Aldo Ulmilan, the chair of this webinar, to give the coming speech. All right, over to you, Pak Milan.
Okay, thank you, Pak Andoko. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, on behalf of the committee, I'd like to welcome all of the participants in this webinar, and special heartiest, warmest welcome to Professor Arskal Salim for joining us and to be the keynote speakers in this webinar. This is the first webinar series conducted by LITA, Linguistics and Literature Association, in cooperation with English Department of Faculty of Arts and Humanities, UINSA, Surabaya. And as the first, in the following 2 weeks, on the 21st of July, there will be another, the second webinar series conducted by LITA in cooperation with English Department, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. Ladies and gentlemen, the participants are coming from all of Indonesia, from the east part of Indonesia, Papua, to the west. Okay. We hope that you can enjoy this program today. And for opening speech, we will invite Professor Arskal Salim, the Director of Islamic Higher Education, the Ministry of Religious Affairs, the Republic of Indonesia. Speech. Monggo, Prof.
Sorry. Thank you, moderator. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Honorable and respectable all speakers for this seminar, and all the audience from all over Indonesia. I believe that this very well attended by many scholars of linguistics. I saw that there are more than 200 people here on a Zoom meeting, and I believe there are more out there on YouTube. So we expect that more than 500 attendee coming. First of all, let me congratulate the committee for organizing this important seminar and for timely event. And also, I would like to thank for this invitation to deliver a keynote speech for this seminar. I have to apologize for being late. I should have been earlier, but I had a late meeting early in the morning. So yeah, now I deliver my presentation, my keynote speech in the car, heading to the Parliament House. Well, let's start with a presentation. The title of my presentation is linguistic today, and is point, linguistic in PTKI today and tomorrow. That's actually the title of my presentation. So it is missing. I don't know when it is edited this morning. So my presentation will cover three things: the position of linguistics in PTKI in scientific fields, and linguistics in PTKI today, and the prospect of linguistics in PTKI tomorrow. So more about how we position the linguistic as a field of study, within Islamic higher education in general, or PTKI. So let me now start with the first session, the first part of my presentation: positioning linguistics in Islamic higher education. And for this, I would like to discuss about the relationship of linguistics to other fields of studies. But before going further, we should ask, what is linguistics, first of all? Yeah. Linguistics is a study of language or languages and its all aspects. Linguistics is a study to understand how language is learned, the structure of language in general and of particular languages, and to understand how language vary and how language influences the way in which we interact with each other and think about the world. In short, language is about knowledge, and I will discuss further later in the next slide. Next, why is linguistic important? Yeah. Next slide, please. Yes. As you may see in the slide, linguistic become important for a number of reasons. First of all, language is a door to knowledge. So it opens a door to wider information and to knowledge in general. In fact, language itself becomes as a knowledge. Language affects knowledge, and knowledge affects language. So you can see that language and knowledge is something that very closely related. And we can also say, because knowledge is a power, so language has a power. Yeah, and in fact, those who have mastered languages, they have powers. Yeah? They have powers, and for that reason, linguists are supposedly the actors in the knowledge creation and development. So I expect that all attendees here, as a linguist, they can create knowledge and develop knowledge further. Now, how is the relationship of linguistics to other disciplines? Next slide, please. I would like to draw your attention to what they call the integration of knowledge. Yeah? We know that Indonesian Islamic higher education, Islamic universities all over Indonesia have developed what we say about the integration of knowledge, science, and Islam. And one of those is UIN Malang. Yeah? UIN Malang designed what they call as Pohon Ilmu, trees of knowledge. Yeah, and as you can see here, that the relationship of language to other disciplines include Islamic studies disciplines and science disciplines. Language become the foundation for other disciplines. It is a tool or ilmu alat to acquire knowledge, especially within Islamic higher education context. Arabic and English become more important languages. I also want to draw your attention to the other concept of integration of science and Islam to the spider web of UIN Yogyakarta. Next slide, please. Next slide. You can see that language become one of the important elements in relation to other disciplines. Religion, science, and philosophy are interdependent and support one to another. And in fact, as you can see, language connect one discipline to another, is interconnected with one another. And as you can see, language is no longer a tool. It also influenced by other scientific approach and fields. So here we are aware of the importance of language to other and its relationship to other disciplines. Let's move on to the next slide. It's how we see linguistics within Islamic higher education today. how far have we come? Yeah? We have already done a number of things. Next slide, please. Especially how we can improve our knowledge, our skills through a number of activities. One of those is through publication. Publication in linguistics at a number of Islamic higher education is getting more noticeable. Yeah, I can give you an example such as Arabi and Arabiyat by Win Jakarta. These are journals already at the Sinta 2 index. Another example is the Association on Linguistics and Language Education in Islamic higher education. We have LITA, this association, and ELITE, and there are many others, on different languages. We also have seen a number of research going on with a number of scholars, researchers are involved doing on linguistics, and they discuss a number of issues that relate to local context. What we can do better? Next, please. On this occasion, I would like to suggest that we need more established scholars, linguists, linguistics theorists from Islamic higher education. And I believe this association, and in particular this webinar series event, could trigger more scholars network so that they can collaborate in order to improve our ability, our strength within linguistic field. We also need to think beyond language as an object to study, because often we underestimate the language as something that is very viral, while in fact, language, as I have shown you, that language become important tool to study so many disciplines. And we also have to collaborate with other disciplines. That means that in order to make a broaden vision, we need to work with other scholars on different disciplines. Studies on linguistics could discuss further about the context of Islamic higher education and Islamic context it entails. And more importantly, what we can do is to develop new subfields of linguistic studies. Now, talking about prospect of linguistics in PTKI for the next, what we can do, I should emphasize here that interdisciplinary is the key for the future linguistic studies in Islamic higher education. We can explore many possibilities that we can collaborate between different disciplines, and there are many subfields of linguistics that could be explored. Cognitive science, computational linguistics, forensic linguistics, mathematical linguistics, neuro-linguistics, historical linguistics, anthropological linguistics, and many, many more. So these are only some possibilities that we could develop further, how we can make linguistics as a interdisciplinary study to broaden our knowledge and to enhance our understanding of the world. So Islamic higher education, or PTKI, is a big landscape of rich of languages, culture, values, subculture, and identities. For that reason, linguists need to be more aware and responsive of this abundant phenomena as the potentials of the development of linguistics study in the future. But we must be aware of the technology, as now we have entered revolution industry, 4.0. We need to focus our mind on how we can use technology to equip us to better develop linguistics. With the rapid development of technology, changes are inevitable. How people acquire language today, yeah. So how people understand or can be skillful in mastering language. How does technology help and hinder language acquisition and teaching? So we use technology to improve the role of language and linguistics. And what research potentials and can we dig up from this advancement of technology in linguistics area? And last but not least, what innovation can we create from this? So we need to think more and more to find innovation and how we can teach and how we can develop linguistics. So I guess that's all that I could deliver from this presentation today, and I hope we can benefit our web seminar events from all those invited speakers. And I hope that this is not the last and the first, but we will have many more events, webinar events, in order to disseminate our knowledge, our information about how we can do better with linguistics. Thank you for your attention, and I should end now. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Professor Arskal Salim. That was very insightful speech and impressive, and I'm sure that that is a very beneficial topic, because all of us, all of the participants as well as the committee here are all peoples of language. Most of them are focusing on linguistics, and some of them are on literature, and others are on language teaching. But all of us are dealing with language. Linguistics, the most important point of speech is that language is very important for the development. Thank you, Professor. And for the following agenda, I'd like to invite Hasnul Insani Jauhar as the moderator and to continue the program. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hasnul.
Waalaikumsalam. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you hear me?
Yes, Bu Hasnul.
Yes, we can hear you.
Ya, alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wasahbihi ajmain, amma ba'du. Thank you so much, Prof. Arskal and Handoko. I'm so happy to participate as a moderator here. And first of all, we would like to thank and welcome all of you LITA participants around Indonesia and even around the world, including Asia, Nepal, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Africa or Egypt, UK or US. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are really happy to see you here and hope you enjoy LITA first webinar. We are not allowed to mention webinar anymore, as the webinar is legal patent branded, so we have to pay if we want to use it. So instead, we can use the term online seminar to substitute a webinar, unless we buy and pay the product. So I think we need to change our next flyers by using online seminar instead of webinar. So before I introduce you our great speakers today, I would like to introduce you what is LITA. So LITA stands for Linguistic or Literature Association. It was established in June 2019 in Aquila Hotel Bandung. So at the time, there are some English lecturers who teach English, especially in literature and linguistics at UIN around Indonesia, such as UIN Jakarta, UIN Malang, UIN Bandung, and UIN Surabaya, Makassar. and Jambi, Padang, and all PT KIN in Indonesia. So we established LITA Association in order to both develop our networks and importantly, to develop English literature departments in Indonesia, especially the lecturers, students, and the learning process such as what we are doing now. The first LITA online seminar hosted by UINSA, UIN Sunan Ampel, Surabaya. So we really hope you will register LITA membership, which is discount now, 50% off special for you. And from 100,000 to become only 15,000 per year. So what is the benefit as a LITA member? First, you will get a special membership card. So you will get key access and priority seat to join next LITA seminar, which is every fortnight. And the next LITA seminar is 21st July, the same time from 9 to 11 a.m., hosted by UIN Alauddin Makassar. And second benefit, you will get the speaker's PowerPoint for free, or even the papers if the speakers are happy to share with you. And last but not least, you will be included in mailing list if you wish, and many more benefits such as you can build a wider network, as Professor Asekal remind you. What we need now is not many association, but the more important is the scholars in literature and linguistics who establish their works and then work together in research and many more. So we can build wider networks with other lecturers who concerned with the same interested discipline and area with you, especially in literature and linguistics within Indonesia and in the world. So I remind you again, please register LITA membership, and the link is provided in chatting room and the slide we share you. And it is, again, discount now special for you, 50% off, but the discount is only until 17 July, so the next 2 weeks. So please hurry up so we can share our program with you and build our next world in Indonesia and beyond. So please don't forget to register our next webinar in the same, with the theme, Gender, Migration, and Diaspora in Women's Literature of the Ummah. So this second webinar, LITA webinar, will be hosted by UIN Alauddin Makassar on 21st July, so the next 2 weeks. So we hope to see you again on 21st July at the same time in the same room. Now it's time for me to introduce you our special speakers, Professor Zuliati Rohmah and Ibu Rojatul Jannah. As some of you may know that Professor Zuliati Rohmah is the president of LITA. So Professor Zuliati Rohmah is a professor of English Language Studies at the Faculty of Arts and Humanities in Sunan Ampel, Surabaya. She finished her doctorate in English language teaching at Universitas Negeri Malang in 2006. She has been active in facilitating workshops and training for English teachers in Indonesia, especially after finishing the in-service certificate in English language teaching, or ICELT, University of Cambridge in 2007. As a Fulbrighter in 2003 at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, she was also a Humphrey Fellow at the University of Minnesota in 2011 until 2012. And as editor of Teflin, the most popular Teflin journal, and chief editor of Nobel Journal. She has also presented papers in national and international ELT forums. Her papers also appear in national, international referral ELT journals. We cannot wait to hear Professor Zul to explain about the blended language learning. I think for me, blended learning means that we need to combine various kinds of learning strategies, or should we combine face-to-face with online, or should we combine all the learning styles of our students? There's so many questions for my mind. Then what and how we should combine here and how to apply it our learning process. So please, Prof. Zuliati, hope you can introduce us first what is the blended language learning and why this strategy is very important for us. And finally, how to apply it in our learning process. So I would like you all to welcome our first speaker, Professor Zuliati Rohmah. And now, Professor, the microphone is all yours now. So please enjoy.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Hasnul, for the nice introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm very happy today to meet all of you here, and especially for Professor Askal today, that Professor Askal can save time for us today, although he is very, very busy. This morning should meet with Indosat, and after this, Prof. Askal should meet with the House of Representatives, but still Prof. Askal spent some time with us. So thank you very much, Prof. Askal, for being with us today. And I would like to greet all LITA members from all parts of Indonesia. LITA members from Sumatra, can you please raise your hand? Hello, Pak Alfian, I can see you over there. And then LITA members from Sulawesi, Bu Uni, and the gang. Also, LITA members from Java, I think this is the biggest number. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy here today with you to talk about promoting blended language learning. Okay. Every morning, many of us, I think, enjoy juice that we mix together in a blender. Quality fruits and vegetables, we put it in the blender and then we enjoyed it this morning. Did you enjoy juice from our blender this morning, guys? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So just let's imagine that blended learning, we have quality things in activities in our classrooms and also in the other forum with students with all quality things. It's just like choosing our blender from quality fruits and vegetables that makes us healthy. Hopefully, our activities in the classroom and also online and other forums can be very good for students to promote, enrich, and quality activities. Now, let me share you with my PowerPoint. Why actually we should have blended learning? Time is changing, guys. We know that the old generation, mostly they prefer to read newspapers, magazine, or other printed materials. But newer generation, they prefer to have gadgets. They try to find information or maybe entertain themselves by using gadgets. Can be mobile phone, can be laptop, computer, and other devices with all kinds of applications, which now is always developing from time to time. So they not only entertain themselves, they also conduct business. They sell things and also buy products just by clicking their mouse. And that's very easy for us now. People can serve in the unlimited world of the internet. And that is why time is changing, the era is changing, and also the development of technology is also changing. That is why then blended learning is also needed. Different generations now we can see builders who are age more than 70s, baby boomers, 71 up to 96 years old. They are not really familiar with gadgets, just not like the other generation. Generation X, just like me, I just knew gadgets. I mean, computer when I was in the university. So I think it's actually late, but that is my age. So I'm not really familiar with gadgets. I still and often grapple with the newest technology. It is different from Generation Y, for example, Generation Z, and even Generation Alpha. They acquire technology when they are still very young. Some of us, or many of us, know that they were introduced to technology and also gadgets early of their age. Even when they are baby, they are listening to voices to music, songs, and also watch videos from the gadgets. That is why then they are native, digital native, and me is part of a digital immigrant. So we are different in treating and also using gadgets and all the applications. That is why then learning method between older people and newer generation, younger generation is different. For example, we can see baby boomers, they prefer verbal activities, or they prefer to sit and listen the explanation given by teachers, for example, who mostly teach them using traditional method. They are also prefer to have job security. They also related to learning, they prefer to have curriculum centered. When they have exams, they prefer to have closed book exam. And also books and paper are become something, the only source of information for them in the past. But it's different with Generation Alpha. They are visual, they enjoy watching videos, they enjoy watching and looking at different colors of pictures, graphics, and so on. So they always try something new and they want to see what happens after that. And they also treat their teacher not as the only source of information. For them, teachers are facilitator who give them times, materials, and so on for them to learn by themselves. So this generation prefers flexibility. They also want to collaborate between their colleague students. They want to collaborate with their friends or even somebody from the other country. They can collaborate it using online communication. So that is the benefit of newest generation right now. They also prefer a learner-centered approach where they are the focus of attention and they are given more opportunities to learn. They also prefer open book, and then because they can access it from different devices and also application. That is why then the characteristics of students, of today's students, they are social, they are mobile, they can move from one place to other places very easily. They can also, they can go global very easily. They can move from one place to another place very easily because transportation system now is also becoming more developed than in the past. They usually prefer digital materials. Look at this picture in the site. Look at the what programs are open by students over there. None of them read text. They prefer pictures with colorful things over there. So they are interested more on something visual. They are also multitasking. They can do different tasks at the same time. That is why we should be, we should believe that our students can do many things actually, might be better than us. Then these types of students, because they get used to have quick responses from the click of the mouse, most of them tend to be impatient. We have to understand this, that they are most of them are impatient. They want to have something very instantly. If we ask about their careers, there will be different answer between old generation and newer generation. Old generation might prefer doctor, pilot, guru for their profession or work careers. But our new generation right now, they prefer to be, if you ask them, you might ask them what you want to be. They might answer, I want to be a YouTuber, just like Atta Halilintar, Raffi Ahmad, or maybe Pak Im Wong. They can go around the world without spending any money. They themselves even can get money from the YouTube that they create. They might also want to go viral in Facebook, Instagram, or maybe Twitter. So that is the real life, or the fact that we have to realize now about the situation of our students right now. However, many of us, baby boomers, old generations, We prefer to have 19th century methods. We were reluctant to change, although we know that our students are 21st century students who have tendency, who have different way of learning than us. That is why we can imagine that the students, many of the students get bored in the classroom. They want just to go out, to have new or fresher air. They want to have new situation. But many of us teachers do not really understand this and just become hopeless. Why my students do not want to learn, and so on and so on. We just do not understand that they have their own way of learning. We have to understand this. Fortunately or unfortunately, Corona come. Because of Corona, then we are forced to change. If previously we prefer to have classroom activities, we always meet students in classroom, but nowadays we are forced to stay at home. Even now, we also have a communication like this from our own home, not in schools. We are teaching our students from home, and the students also learn from home. Even many of the students graduate this year, not in a common ceremony, but it's online graduation ceremony. And many of us are confused and overwhelmed because of the Corona, because we are not prepared to use online learning and so on. That is why I think it is a right time for us to revisit, relearn what blended learning is. Blended learning is actually a combination between online and face-to-face instruction. The aim is to provide the comprehensive learning experience with the students. But we have to remember that online materials do not replace face-to-face instruction. Blended learning just to create an enriched online learning environment for the students. So the students will get not only from the teachers, but it's also from other sources of learning. Okay, let's now look at how blended learning happens. Blended learning can happen at schools, at home, or online. When we give homework, for example, then we start giving direction, instruction when we are in school. And then the students continue working on the homework when they are at home. So it can be also combined with the online. Then we need ICT supported classwork and also ICT supported homework. So this is a picture of how blended learning can happen. Now let's look at learning rooms in digital era, the era where and when we live right now. First of all, we have face-to-face learning. This is the way that most of us do so far. It can be in the form of presentation of the teacher and then discussion, demonstration, practice, and so on, where the teacher meets the students directly. Okay, they practically arrive and be present in the classroom. The second room is online learning. It can be done using audio, video, or web conferencing. The third is interpersonal collaboration learning. It can be using mailing list, blog, community of practice. And the last one is personal learning. We can use audio, video recording that is prepared by the teachers, lecturers, and then students can access it when they are online. Then we have what is called synchronous learning. In synchronous learning, the activity of learning is the same. The teacher gives instruction or explanation or maybe demonstration, and at the same time, the students pay attention to that and then follow the instruction and also my practice with the instruction given by the teacher. So this is direct communication between teacher and students, whether using face-to-face or online learning. Another way of learning is asynchronous learning, where students and teachers do not do the activity at the same time. the teacher can send, for example, the learning materials using audio or video recording to the students, and students will look at it and read the materials later on. Or maybe the teacher send email to students about some activities that students should do, and then student will do it at other time specified by the teacher. So asynchronous learning happens at different times between the teacher and the students, and also students will take their own time when they are available. So it's more flexible rather than synchronous learning. Now let's look at each room one by one, face-to-face. Face-to-face learning, here the teacher design what kinds of activities that they should do, that they should have in the classrooms. Teaching learning activities in the classroom can be more teacher-centered or can be learner-centered. In the past, teacher might lead more teacher-centered activities. However, today, I think more and more teachers prefer to use learner-centered, which is also preferred by the students. In teacher-centered, teacher is the focus of attention. Teacher takes most of the time. The teacher can present, demonstrate, provide drill or practice, and also tutorial. While in learner-centered, the students is the focus of attention. It is the students' need. It is the students' preference who are paid attention by the teacher, so that the learners are the subject here. So they are freer, they are more flexible in developing their own ability during the learning process. It can be in the form of discussion, simulation, role play, different kinds of games, problem solving, cooperative learning, and so on. And learner-centered is more preferred by learners. And now I think teachers also make themselves to sit with the students' need. Now look at these all classroom activities. If we see in these all 4 classroom activities, students are active. Students are active in asking questions. Students are active in doing playing games. And in the last picture, we see that the students are playing game while moving around. So this is very good for, especially for kinesthetic types of students. So it's not only visual type of students who are more benefited with these kinds of classroom activities, but all kinds are given more opportunities to learn. However, we have to understand that classroom is not the only room for students to learn, especially in our digital era. That's why we have also needs to make the most benefits of other learning room for students. Now let's talk about online learning, the second room for students to learn. In this case, teacher connects students to the external experts, practitioners, or professors. The activity can be done by employing audio conferencing, video conferencing, or even web conferencing. By using online learning, it's easier for us teachers to invite, for example, experts, visiting professors, visiting lecturers, or community of practice sharing by inviting them to come to our classroom, not in physical way. In the past, when we do not use online learning, we might invite them and ask them to come to our place physically. In this case, we have to pay the flight, we have to pay the hotel, and so on. So it's much more expensive. But nowadays, we can invite them just to come here, to come to our place, and then give speech or maybe discussion, sharing experience, and so on, while they are still in their own places. And it's, of course, much cheaper than if we invite them physically. Look at this for community of practice sharing. For example, for our students that are interested in translation, for example, then we can invite translators those who have practicing translation in for their job, you know that now translation job is also have a very good opportunity, very good future. We can also invite them to come to our online rooms, and then we let them share their experience. What is the difficulty in doing the job? What is the difficulty in terms of marketing? And what is the benefit and what can they gain from their activity in translation? So by having this kind of activity, students are more motivated because they meet more people, they meet different kinds of experts, and they can, of course, get more understanding, and they have wider perspectives compared to if us teachers the only source of information. Next room is collaborative interpersonal learning. We can have chat room. Now there are many applications that we can use. Even, for example, we can use WhatsApp, we can use Skype, we can use many other applications for that. WhatsApp is very, I think it's easily accessible. It can also reach more remote areas, so it's very easy to be used. We can also have discussion forum, just like today. We have Zoom, we have maybe another time we have Google Classroom, and it's very easy for us to meet with other people from different parts of the world, just like today. We can also have collaborative projects, which in the past it might be difficult. For example, we may design a project that can be applied in different universities. For example, I from UINSA might have collaboration with Bu Uni from Makassar, with Bu Hasnul in Jakarta, with Pak Alfian in Jambi, for example. Then we make a collaborative project for our students. For example, project in improving literacy level of children around the community, for example. Then we choose some best practices, some good techniques that we can apply, we can try to improve the literacy level of children in our community. Then the students can have discussion how to apply the techniques in their community, and then after that they go to their community applying the programs, and after that they come again together to discuss what is the result. Is it the same between one place to another place? Is it different? If it is the same, what makes it the same? If it is different, what makes it different? Then by having this kinds of collaborative projects, students can learn from one place to another. It's a very easy today, and it's possible. And also community of inquiry and community of practice is also possible to be used for collaborative and interpersonal learning among the students. So here the role of the teacher is to design collaborative, authentic, and challenging tasks for the students. And the last one is personal learning. In personal learning, the role of the teacher is to provide digital self-paced learning materials. So the materials provided by the teacher can be created by the teacher themselves, or maybe the teachers just take it from the online sources, from the internet. And the materials, usually in the form of digital materials, can be in the form of animation, audio, video, virtual reality, simulation, games, augmented reality, and also in the form of text. And usually the materials are designed in a module, in the modular forms, bite-sized chunking. So it's easier for students to learn. Fast learners can finish easier, can finish sooner than the slower learner. For example, fast learner can finish 5 modules in a day, whereas slower learner can just finish one module, and it's okay. It depends on the pace of each student, and it might be better for students. Usually the material contains self-instruction. It contains a clear instruction that can be followed, can be conducted, can be done, can be executed by students easily. And it's also self-contained. It means all the materials needed by the students to understand the materials to practice doing something or making something. It contains everything needed by the students. And it's also personal and conversational. It means when the students have problem, they have the possibility to contact maybe the machine that is asking question, and then the machine or the person can answer what is the problem of the students. It's very possible. It also usually contains hyperlink and also hyper content. It, of course, help the students to understand the materials very easily. And in terms of depth of the materials, the students can choose by themselves. If they want to acquire the materials in depth, then they can open the hyperlink and hyper content. So that is the good thing in digital era, that we may use many kinds of support from the internet. Okay, so basically blended learning is combination between synchronous and asynchronous learning from different learning rooms to create various learning experiences. It can it's mixed between face-to-face, online, interpersonal, and personal rooms. In our pandemic era right now, maybe face-to-face is still difficult to be applied. That is why now we might apply more on online interpersonal collaboration and personal way of teaching. Later on, when our pandemic has already improved, we are getting better, we can apply synchronous and asynchronous learning more perfectly by using and also applying face-to-face learning too. Thing that we have to remember is that when applying blended learning, we are supported by learning technology. The learning technology is used for teaching and learning. It is also used for communication and interaction, can be used for individual and group uses, just like I explained. Learning technology can be in the form of hard technologies and soft technologies. It is combination between the two. Hard technologies consist of hardware and software. The hardware can be computer, PC, mobile phone, or iPad. It will not be able to be used unless it is completed with software or applications. The application now, we know that it is developed advanced right now. So even people like me always grappling with the advancement of technology, both the hardware and software. But of course, because we are teaching new generation students, we have to try hard to follow and also to understand what's happening outside there. Then, in terms of soft technology, we can apply instructional guidelines or models of learning to engage students by applying this into the available software. If we look at the internet, then we'll see many software are available over there. ICT for authoring tools, we can look at, for example, Hot Potatoes, Kahoot, Mentimeter, Google Form. We can use all of these by putting the materials that can be, for example, quizzes, can be question and answer using Google Form. These all will help teachers to enhance the students' learning. We can also use ICT for learning resources. These all links can be used by teacher to provide more materials for students and give more experience for students. And also ICT for thinking skills, for example. We can use these all links to improve the thinking skills of the students. If we how many of you are familiar with Blackboard? Maybe Ruang Guru we have often heard because Ruang Guru is based in our country, so we know it is. I think this is mainly for less actually, but I think Ruang Guru will develop later for more than that. Now, let's talk about types of ICT integration. It can be in the forms of call programs where it consists of embedded learning materials, can be in the form of tutorials, testing, and games. It can also be in the form of communication, computer-mediated communication tools, can use email, forums, chat rooms, Skype. By using the tools, the teacher can communicate with students easily, although they do not meet directly. It can also be in the form of learning management systems like Moodle, Blackboard, or English Discoveries that will be introduced more by Ibu Rodo today. And also SPADA Indonesia. SPADA Indonesia is now being developed by the Ministry of National Education, and it's still in the process of developing, in which later we as teachers, lecturers, can upload, download, share, and retrieve files and other online learning materials in this web. And I think SPADA Indonesia later on will also collaborate with SPADA and Edge of our universities, where later students can take courses from other universities easily. They can, for example, students from Universitas Islam Negeri Surabaya can take courses that are interesting for them, for the students from other universities, maybe from UIN Jakarta, from UIN Makassar, or even from University of Indonesia, for example. This is the website of SPADA, Sistem Pembelajaran Daring Indonesia. Here we can see what kinds of courses that the students that are offered and the students can take. Yeah. Okay, ICT integration consists of 4 levels of integration. It can start from institution and then program, course, and activity. In terms of institution, the institution designs or make the policy of what kinds of blended materials that they want to use, what kinds, how many percentage of face-to-face, how many percentage of online learning should be experienced by the students. And then it is developed by program coordinator, and then program coordinator will design what kinds of courses, and each of the courses will be designed by us lecturers. What kinds of activities should be included in our courses? What face-to-face activities? What online activities that we need to put in our blended learning activities? Okay, last one. How to make our blended learning successful? I think as teachers, lecturers, we have to start by identifying the learner's need. What actually is needed by the learners? Do you always ask the students at the early meetings in the semester? If you do that, I think it's a good way to start your course. At least you know what is really needed by the students. And then we need to set up the level of demand. How the students need it is, do they need the basic level, advanced level, or they just need the intermediate level? And we need also to recognize and respect the different learning styles. We need to know how many percent of our students are visual learners, how many percent of them are auditory learners, how many of them are kinesthetic learners. So in our teaching learning activities, we will accommodate all the types of learners in our learning activities. In this way, we will be more, will be fair to all the students. Then we need to identify the learning goals. After we know the learning needs, we know the level of the demand, and then we know the learner style, then we identify the goals. So the goals of the course in this semester is this. Then after we identify the goals, then we present the activities of what is it? Yeah, the activities, the instruction, demonstration, and so on with the students in a friendly demonstration, so that the students will feel at home. They will feel that the learning environment is supportive to their learning. And after that, the teacher should offer follow-up support. We know that our students are from different levels of ability. Some of them are slow, some of them are fast, some of them are with advanced level. Then we should be ready to support them. Some of them might have difficulties even when they just start the activities. Some of them get the difficulty in the middle of the activity. Some of them get difficulty at the end. So we should be ready to support the students. The last one, we need to be remember that self-monitoring process is very important, especially for the student, so that the students can monitor their own progress. In this case, of course, the teachers need to prepare the media or maybe the instrument how the students can check their own progress. Okay, I think that's all my presentation. Back to moderator. Thank you very much.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Professor Zuliati Rohmah. And I just want to remind you again, in order to get PowerPoint of Professor Zuliati Rohmah, you need to register to DITA membership, which is now discount 50% from 100,000, only 50,000 now. It's only until 17 July 2020. And because we have so many questions and limited times, so before we discuss question answer with Professor Zuliati Rohmah, I would like to introduce you the second speaker, Ibu Rodatul Jannah. So Ibu Rodatul Jannah is the head of the language center of UINSA.
No, I'm sorry, Ibu Hasnul. I'm not the head of UINSA Language Center. I'm the English coordinator.
Oh, English coordinator. Sorry. English coordinator in English department, yeah. Yeah,
yes.
English coordinator.
No, in UINSA Language Center.
Oh, Language Center UINSA Sunan Ampel. And her education background is bachelor degree in language and Arabic from IAIN Sunan Ampel in 2000. And for her master degree, graduated from Master of Applied Linguistics, the University of Queensland, Australia. So I would like to hand over this microphone to you, Ibu Zuliati Rohmah, and enjoy
Ibu
this. Rauda.
Okay. Yeah, let me share my screen first. Okay, it's not here. All right, can someone see my my slide?
Okay, now it's okay. Yeah, we can see your PowerPoint slide, Roda.
Okay, thank you. Ya, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And thanks to the moderators, thanks to all of the participants. It's so wonderful to have you all here, even though we cannot see you face to face. But yeah, because we are now in digital era, so we can I'm not going to say webinar because just like Bu Hasnul said, we cannot use this term. So I said online seminar today. Okay, first thing first, I have to say that in terms of the theory, you've got a lot from Bu Zuliati Rahma just now. And for my turn, I'm going to share an experience about the use of blended language learning for UINSA students. So long before the pandemic struck us, actually we've already used this blended learning method for our intensive English program. So to have this complete picture of what we are doing in UINSA Language Center for our UINSA students, I think it's better for me to give you this outline for the presentation so that you have a little bit understanding about what EB. EB is our intensive program, intensive bahasa Inggris, that what we call it in Indonesia. And then who are involved in this program, and then why, the reason why we have to use blended learning method or approach in our intensive learning. And then, of course, how to pass EB. I've prepared slide, but I'm not going to go through the slide one by one because it will take many time. So I just give you a brief about what EB is. And then next, I'm going to show you English Discoveries, our homepage online. Hopefully the internet connection work well so that we can enjoy our website, I mean, English Discoveries website. Okay. So this is EB, Bapak Ibu. Just now, Bu Zuli said that today's learning is quite different from our old days learning, right? Especially when we talk about language learning. Usually or traditionally, we have to go to a classroom for a meeting with a teacher and something from the teacher from the classroom. But now we can go online. So we can go online, we can search anything we want. If we want to study, for instance, a certain language, let's say you want to study English or you want to study Arabic, you don't need to go to the classroom anymore. Even though classroom meeting with teacher is still needed, but then it is more flexible for you or for language learner to go online and have online free resources there. So there was a turning point in our language center. We used to think that if we merely depend on our face-to-face meeting, which is only twice a week with the duration of 90 minutes per meeting, we think that it will never be enough, even though we claim or we say that the intensive program is for 2 semesters. Well, actually, it's not 2 semesters literally. In 1 semester, we only active class only for 3 months, let's say 3 months completely, and maybe less than 4 months. And in 3 months, it's actually not literally 3 months. It's just 90 minutes per meeting and twice a week. So you can imagine how short and how inadequate is it to have language input if we merely base on face-to-face meeting. So that's why starting from 2018, we finally decided to use English Discoveries as a combination of our traditional classroom meeting or classroom language learning. So here you can see on my slide, EB plus ED is hybrid English learning, or you can say blended learning. That's a combination between traditional face-to-face and online platform. So later I'm going to give you the reason why we choose English Discoveries. Why not any other free online resources? There's a reason behind that. And of course, we have to consider the huge number of students that we're dealing with. Okay, I'm not going to go through this one. And this is who are involved in this program. Of course, this program for new student, and we have a lot of lectures, and this is the data for the student that we have. I just skip this one. You can see it in the slide later on. Don't worry, we give you the slide. And this is the reason why we finally combine ED for our intensive English program. Yeah, of course, because ED, it is designed for a blended language learning method. We cannot just let students to go online browsing ED, using their ED, but still we need a teacher to guide them, to get a student so that they have a certain target they have to fulfill. Because if we don't equip students with a teacher, the target will not be easier for them to reach. So that's why we have blended language learning for our programs. And of course, it's complete. And in the era of ICT, it's not that funny if we merely base on our books, which has no, what is it, a live interactive, or like watching videos or listening to a certain audio, because we have to think about the different characteristics that our students have. So that's why in ED, I can say that all the thing we need for language learning, in this case for English learning, it's all available on ED. And the next is, yeah, we have to consider the exposure. If we talk about learning a certain language, learning a foreign language, of course, we have to think about how many exposure do we have for the student. Let's think about how kids acquire their first language. They keep learning, they keep listening, and then in their daily communication and interaction with the people around them. And of course, this exposure takes a long time. It's not just merely once a week and then they have no interaction. So that's why using ED, English Discoveries Online, students can have their own pace to learn. And they also have useful materials, standardized materials appropriate to their levels. So that's why we use ED. And it's very effective, of course, efficient, and yeah, affordable. Actually, it's not that free, but I'm not going to talk about price here. And what is interesting about ED is that when we use this ED, the developer is not just give it to us and then leave it to us and then that's it. No, it is supervised and also supported by the technical team from ETS or ITC. So that's why when we've got technical problem or technical difficulties in terms of using ED platform, then we can go to, or we can call ITC team. So that's some of the reason why we finally have to blend our intensive English program with English for the online platform. Now, for the UWINSA student, if they are officially registered as UWINSA student, they will have email, and then the ITC will assign a course for them after they've got the result of their placement test. We're going to see how this placement test happen later on the website. And yeah, this is the assessment. I have to pass this, skip this. And this is the thing that must be considered because ED, English Discovery, or EB, Intensive Bahasa English Program, is blended learning program. So we still consider the classroom attendance. In order to pass EB program, student must eligible for this qualification. She or he has to attend a classroom. If we have to calculate it, it's no less than 75% of their classroom attendance. And for the online courses from the ED platform, they have to accomplish at minimum percentage 80% of their ED course completion and ED average test score. What is ED course completion and what is ED average test score? I'm going to give you later in the website. Hopefully I have enough time to talk about this. Okay, I just skipped this one. And this is the example of the certificate for those who already success on joining EB programs. Okay, that was a brief about EB, and then English Discovery just a bit, and then we go to the website. So English Discoveries, it has a tagline as a comprehensive English language learning solution. It has a tagline like this, and of course you may ask question, why is it comprehensive and what makes it comprehensive? Well, I can tell that because it's in ED, it has student platform. It means if you are logged in as a student, all the things that you need as a learner, it's available in student platform. And as a teacher, you also monitor, you can supervise your student progress through the TMS platform. So if Puzuli just now said about LMS, Learning Management System, so on ED, we also have TMS, Teachers Management System. So teacher can save a lot of time. They don't need to write any report related to their student progress, but it's all recorded in the platform. So that's why I can say that using ED, it's really helpful and effective as well as efficient to both for the teachers and also for the student, because student can also monitor their own progress. And let's see what we have in student platform. I'm not going to read this one by one for you, but we go directly to the website later on. And this is what is included or provided by the ED developer in student platform. So in ED, we have 10 different levels. Starting from the very beginners, first discoveries, to advanced 3, the highest level of ED. And then this is the, if we use ED, we have to explore, we have to follow this learning step. We have first stage, explore, and then practice, and then test. We see later in the website, inshallah. Okay, this is the illustration of the level that provided on ED. So that's why using ED, we can finally choose what is appropriate course for each student. Because each student, they have different level of proficiency in English, right? So that's why we cannot just put them together in a same level. For instance, we start with basic 1. No. For some students, they can start in intermediate 1, and for some, they started in basic 1. So that's why first time before they log into their, before they learn using ED, they have to do placement test first, and then we sign a course for the student. And this is the illustration or summary of the structure and organization of ED. We'll see later. Yeah, and this whole thing are available on ED. So this is about student platform. And now let's move to EDTMS. What is inside EDTMS? The whole thing here you can see on ED. The most important thing is the chart. Yeah, you can see your student progress through the charts. This is the charts course completion rate. So you can see how many percent of your students have achieved the certain level. Is it 80% of their course completion already achieved or not? Or maybe 50% student still in half of one unit. So that's why you can see this platform, you can see teacher management system to guide your student into the right way so that they can reach, they can accomplish their course completion in a scheduled time. And we also have this average test score. If you can see this this chart, this picture, this is to show that, okay, this is the average test score that a student in one class have. Okay, that was about teacher management system. And let's see, let's go online. Hopefully the internet connection is working quite well here. Okay, let me just stop share first. And okay, wait. Pahan, hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Yep. All right, just to make sure, just to check that everybody can see my screen. Okay, so Bapak Ibu, here's the TMS homepage. But before we go to TMS homepage, okay, I have to drag this first because it's, I told you before that ED has two different platforms, but in one package, right? On ED, it's for student and also for teacher. As a teacher, if you are logged in as a teacher, you're going to have this homepage. And as a student, if you are logged in as a student, wow. Okay, time's up. I have to access this first. Hopefully it works well. Can you see it's still loading, Pak Han?
Yes, it's still loading.
Yeah, that's why I'm afraid that the internet connection here is not that strong, but hopefully it works well. Hopefully. I already opened it. Okay, let me just explain about TMS then. Okay, it's already completely loaded here, hopefully. Still, we have to wait until it's fully uploaded. Okay, dear participant, as you can see here, this is the student platform. If you log in as a student, this is the homepage that you can see. So for instance, I said that English Discovery has 10 different levels, ranging from first discoveries to advanced, basic one. I can see the whole thing here because I am not a student, but I'm a supervisor here. So that's why I can have a lot of different level of ED here. So let's say if you are assigned a course in Basic 2, so this is the homepage that you're going to see if you are a student of UIN Sunan Ampel Surabaya. Let's say you are assigned in Basic 2 level. So in your homepage here, you can see your course completion. Yeah, this course completion is still 0, and the average test score here is still 0, and the time on task is still 0 as well, because you as a student, or I am as the student, I haven't done anything yet in my course in this level. So that's why it's still clear. And based on the structure of ED, one level of ED, one course level, it has 10 different units. We have 10 different units. Unit 1, Unit 2 until Unit 10. And each unit, it has different topics. So that's why it said 10 different topic-based unit. So that's why a student will not be bored about the topic because it has various activities and also topic. So of course, they're going to have a lot of exposure to the language that they use in one course level. Okay, so let me give you example. Yeah, this is to start with everything. Just click start. Yeah, I have to turn earphone. Let me check what we can do here. Okay, so in one unit, we have for about 6 to 7 lesson. Yeah, in basic 1 or basic 2, we have 6 lesson in unit 1. And then we have to follow this explore. First, we have explore first stage or first step, and then we have to follow the next step, practice and test. You might ask question, can we just go jump to the test? Yes, you might, but it's not recommended because your course completion will not be recorded. Maybe you only have your average test score, but then your course completion will not be fulfilled. So this is the reason why you have to follow the steps. Step 1, step 2, and step 3. Okay, let's, do I have to give you an example? Hello, Pak Han. Is it possible for me to play this?
Azul, what about the time?
I think it's okay because we have many questions and also we have a quiz after the question and answer. So I think that's enough for Radha Turjana. Thank you so much for your great presentation. I think many of these participants knew about this English discovery. So that's why it's really, I challenge you to stay in and can answer our questions, quiz after this. And we will give you about 20 participants to have register free online for 3 months English discovery. So stay tuned. And first, before we go to the quiz session, I would like to choose, I think this one not the best, but this one of among the best question here. I think, oh yeah, to answer your question, can we join?
Should I stop share first?
Okay, yes, please. Okay. And the question, before we read the first question, I would like to answer your question. Many of you asking, is it possible to be a member even though I'm only English teacher? Even though I am from English education? The answer is yes, yes, yes. So as long as you are interested in literature and linguistics, yes, you are very welcome to join LITA as a LITA member. And it's only 50,000, not 100. So yes, every year 100,000, but we give you discount for you now, special for you is only 50,000 for this year. And then you continue later every year, next year. So the first question is from Lailatul Muniro from Universitas Negeri Malang. Could you explain to us detail about, this is for Professor Zuliati. Could you explain to us detail about the differences among blended learning and distance learning and remote learning? And please provide examples, please.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Blended learning basically is a combination between face-to-face and online learning. So there should always be there meeting directly. It cannot be called blended learning if it is only online learning. So distant learning, usually it is conducted from faraway places. And then remote learning, it is also learning from remote areas. I mean, from distant way. So basically, distant learning can also be part of blended learning, but the concept is different. Blended learning, actually, for example, we are in our campus, but because we are not happy with only face-to-face learning, then we provide students with some percentage of our activities using online sources. So that is basically the concept of blended learning. While distant learning, from early of the planning, it is not planned to meet face to face. So it's conducted in far away. The program can always be conducted by using online platform only. So no direct meeting, no face-to-face interaction. So I think that is the basic difference between blended learning, online learning, what is it? Distant learning and remote learning. So blended learning is combination between online and face-to-face. It's not only online. That is my answer, Bu Hasnul.
Yeah, second question, what about TEYL or young learners? We all know that young learners in sensory motor, operational, concrete zone need more cheerful, concrete physical construction. So how do we apply such teaching learning process?
Okay, as we know that students cannot focus their concentration on certain things. If, for example, we speak to students more than 5 minutes, I think they will get bored. So there will be always activities, moving activities, physical activities with the students. So like songs, and then games, and then telling stories can be applied for the students. And now, using online learning, I think there are different programs or applications that can be used by teachers to engage students, young learners, in the activities. So for example, when asking the students to song, then the teachers can, of course, can start by singing themselves, or maybe can play a song from the internet, from YouTube, and then ask them to sing along with the teachers. And while singing with the students can move their parts of body. They can do it while dancing and so on. So actually, teaching young learners, especially if we are online, of course, the student should be somebody with the students there at home, so that they can open the application correctly. They can join with the activities correctly, because of course, young learners need to be fully attended by somebody who is older, who is adult. They cannot live alone. Yeah, I think in face-to-face learning, they are attended by teachers. But in online learning, because of pandemic, then students also at home are attended by adults people. So when teachers can direct or can do the teaching, ask the students to sing along or tell a story, but at home, the students are still attended by parents, or maybe bigger sibling, older brothers, sisters, and so on. So basically, the activities are still like day-to-day activities, but it is only delivered through online mode. That is basically the difference between now, because we cannot meet students, and day-to-day activities. I think that's all.
Yeah, next question. So what is the best way to set up a self-monitoring process?
To set up what? Self-monitoring?
Self-monitoring.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think part of the success of any teaching learning process is evaluation. And before we have evaluation, we have to start. I have already described it at my presentation, although it's a very short, we have to think carefully of how to measure the advancement or the development of the students. First of all, we have to really know what is actually the goals of our teaching learning process. And then after knowing the goals, then we have to choose some indicators that need to be achieved by students, whether they can sing, if it is for young learners, whether they can sing, what kinds of song that they can sing, or whether they can dance, or whether they can write, or whether they can, for example, read something. These should be operational words that we have to choose. And then if we have already had the indicators, of course, it's easier for us to know what is to evaluate, what parts of learning activities that needs to be evaluated. And then we need to determine what types of assessment will we assess by using performance directly from the students. For example, we ask the students to sing. Nowadays, we can ask them to record their song, for example. When they are singing, then they record, and then the students can send it to us. Or maybe we want the students to be able to tell a story about certain things. Students now can also record. Or maybe if we want the students to know about, especially for later, for older students, maybe we can make kind of quizzes for students. What is in the quizzes? It depends on what we want to evaluate. Yeah. So there are different ways of evaluating, especially in online mode of learning. Students can record, students can, whether it is audio or video recording, or students can do the task, can be in the form of doing quizzes, or maybe in the form of writing in such an application, or maybe they speak. There are actually so many varieties of evaluation ways. And then the formats of evaluation, whether it is multiple choices, or it is true, false, or it is essay types, and so on. And we have to remember that there are different types of evaluation. It can be ongoing evaluation, or it can be final evaluation. For the ongoing evaluation, we need to think whether we will do it in terms of days, for example, once a week, twice a week, or every day, or maybe in terms of modules. If we create modules, for example, we can give evaluation after each modules are finished by the students. And the way we evaluate it also depends. It can be different ways. That is why then teachers should be very careful. Actually, teachers need to work really hard, not only to prepare the materials, but also to prepare instruments to measure the progress that the students achieve. The easy way is actually the teachers do not create the evaluation instrument themselves. They might just use from the available online sources. Now, I think there are available sources, just like I mentioned in my PowerPoint. Teachers now can browse, can be more creative also in not only in looking for, but also in creating the instrument. I think that's all, Bu Hasnul. Thank you.
So how do you guarantee the quality of the output of the blended learning method? As I know it when online, students will not focus 100% on learning because the atmosphere is indeed potentially disrupted by non-academic activities around them. So this certainly breaks the focus of thought concentration. So I think the question is, so how can we make sure that the students stay on focus on our,
Yeah. Okay, we have to, teachers, we have to remember that our mode of learning online is different from the mode of learning by face-to-face learning. In face-to-face learning, teachers can observe, can monitor the students directly. But in online learning, teachers cannot check it 100%, just like if the students are present in the classroom. That is why the teacher should also, have their way of monitoring the teacher's progress, the students' progress. Different ways of monitoring can be done. For example, teachers might give checklists to the students, whether students have already mastered A, B, C, D, and all points that they need to master, for example. And then the students send it to the teachers so that the teachers can evaluate, oh, the students have already mastered these points. What they don't understand is these points and so on. Although this sometimes cannot be trusted 100%. Sometimes students say that they understand something, although actually, in fact, they do not understand something. So there should be another way of evaluating this, maybe by giving question or by giving assignment or giving task, so that the teachers can evaluate, oh, the students can really master or understand something based on the assignment given by the teachers. And teachers should remember that in online learning there should be flexibility. It is different from classroom. Classroom is based on schedule. Teacher and students should be present in the classroom on scheduled way. But using online learning, teachers should be more flexible, giving more time for the students. And of course, we have to trust our students. And we need to motivate students that what we are learning or what we provide for students to learn is for the students' own improvement of the students' quality. And that is very important, especially in terms of motivation for students to improve themselves. I think that is what we can do, because we cannot guarantee everything or anything here. There should be trust from the teachers. There should be motivation in the students' side, so both can achieve a better experience and better achievement during the learning process. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Next
Bu Hasnul. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry,
think this
Bu
last
Hasnul.
one. Yeah.
Hello, Bu Hasnul.
Yes, please.
Is it possible for me to add something?
Yes, sure.
Related to, Bu Zuli just now said.
Yes.
Okay, so actually there is some point that I need to highlight before I finish my presentation. I haven't shown the participant about the TMS. So what everything just said by Bu Zuli is actually can be done in TMS. So in terms of student flexibility, in terms of how teacher can monitor it, it's all available in ED. So that's why first thing when we consider or when we decide to use blended learning method, of course, the first thing that we must think is that what is the online platform that appropriate. By using ED, student can also monitor their own progress. That's for the student. And for the teacher also can monitor their student progress. So student, they cannot cheat their teacher. For instance, okay, you have to do this, but then actually the student, they haven't done anything yet. So that's why a teacher through their TMS, they can check whether student has done this unit or not. And teacher, they don't have to write manually about the report. It's all recorded on TMS. So it's very effective. So that's why when we think about online or blended learning, we have to think about what is the appropriate platform that we can use in order to fit or to achieve a certain level. Yeah, that's the thing that I need to add, Bu
Thank you,
Hasnul.
Dr. Jannah. Thank you. And I think the second last two question, we are all in the digital era teaching alpha students, which are more visual, instant, practical, and happy. Sometimes we ignore or neglect about contents of courses itself. Only focus and facilitate what students want. Consequently, students have little understanding about contents naturally. So they just know but not understand. How about the contents? Prof. Zul?
Content, okay. Is it the question from Pak Adnan Holis?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it?
Adnan.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I think the internet is a kind of unlimited world where everything are there. Everything is there. Can be very good things, very useful things, up to not useful thing. And sometimes, what is it? Something which is actually very dangerous for the students. Hoax, inaccurate information, and everything is there. That is why when we, we encourage the students to open the internet, or maybe without our encouragement, the students has already there. It is the students' world. They have been more familiar with the internet rather than us, maybe. In this kind of situation, of course, actually we need to provide the students with kind of basic values that they have to have in this era. Especially, for example, we need to share with students the etiquette when they surf the internet. What needs to be opened, what needs not to be opened, what needs to be believed, what needs to not to be believed, what values they can have, and things like that. If we are especially religious teachers, we believe in something, certain values, what can be done, what cannot be done, and so on. Of course, the students should be completed themselves with this kind of values. For example, just watching what kinds of movies, what kinds of videos that they need to enjoy, what kinds cannot be enjoyed or will be dangerous for them. So it is very important for the students to have this kind of value, what need to be accepted, what not, because everything can be found in the internet. For example, students can for example, pornographic things. It is there. If the students do not have any prior information, the danger or the things that they may not open, they might open it, and then they might just imitate that without really know what is it, what is the effect of this, and so on. That is why we maybe often heard that two students in second grade of elementary level, they play with their girlfriend just like what is done by adult people in the video. They might not know what is it and what are done by adults. They just imitate. And in fact, then some of them just get pregnant because of the their ignorance. This kind of etiquette should also be informed for the students. And then, so moral values, moral messages should also be given for the students during this era, because they might be confronted with different cultures, with different ways of life from people from different parts of the world. That is why then if the students are, prepared with this kind of values, they will know what to be opened, what to be learned, and so on. And then in terms of the way how the teachers provide materials, it's better for the teachers to provide the links, to provide the links that the students should open. So the teachers may not just, try try to find this information in the internet. I think it will not be wise for students. The students will open the websites and find that, and the students might come to incorrect websites, not proper website for the students. So it's better to choose the link and then give the links to the students and give clear instructions what the students should do, whether they need to read, whether they need to do something, or whether they need to understand something and get the content from the online sources. So by giving online sources to the students, it doesn't mean that the teachers' work is easier or lesser in terms of burden. It's no. The teachers need to make the instructions clearer step by step, and it means that the teacher should really master what is in the internet and how the students can learn from the internet. And it is not an easy way. We need more work actually for the teachers. And also how to make the students understand the content more, better, and so on. I think it depends on how we measure whether the students already master the material or not. We need maybe some checking lists, some questions before asking the students to read, for example. Provide with some questions. So when reading, the students will focus on understanding the message in the reading passage so that they will get and understand the content. And I think that is the way. We cannot just let the students, okay, do it. I don't know how you do it. No, we have to provide step-by-step instructions very clearly to the students. Thank you, Bu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. Zuliati Roma and Bu Rodatul Jana for the insightful presentation. I think since we only have 10 minutes left, so we should move on to the next session is quiz led by the host, Suhandoko. So please, the microphone is yours now.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Hasnul. So, Bapak Ibu, now it's time for the quiz. And I would like to share the PowerPoint first. Okay, now for the quiz, you please open your web browser and then click type joinmyquiz.com in your web browser and enter the game code 554028. Okay. Okay, please open joinmyquiz.com in your browser and enter the game code. Okay, when you are prompted into filling out the nickname, we strongly recommend that you write your email for the nickname of the game so that if you win, we can contact you easily. Okay, now we are still waiting. Okay, again, type joinmyquiz.com in your web browser and enter the game code 554028. Okay, now we have about 17 people already. Now let me show you how the game like this. Okay, we have already 22 participants. Okay, 1 minute more, I will start the quiz and you can all see the results of the quiz live. Yeah, so everyone can check who is the winner and how much is my score and so on. Okay, we have 29. Okay. We have 36. Okay, those who haven't joined the game, please open myquiz.com and then put the game code 554028. 20 winners who can answer correctly and fast will be granted 3-month free access to English Discovery. Burauda is the master of this English Discovery. Hello, Burauda. Are you there?
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm here.
So those who win the game will be contacted by the host, by me. And then if you have questions, you can ask Purauda. Is that right, Purauda?
Related to English discoveries, yeah, because for the lucky participants, 20 of them, they will have free access online to English discoveries. Anything about English discovery will be talked later, yeah, because it's not possible for me to explain the whole thing related to English discovery now.
Okay, so we will share Purauda's contact number or the email, Purauda.
My WA number, that's enough.
Okay.
But
We will,
you have to organize the winner first, Pak Han. And then after that, yeah, you can share my number.
okay, so we have 70 participants. Yeah. If you haven't joined the game, it's okay. You can start the game every time. You have 5 minutes to finish the game. Can we start now, Purauda?
Yep.
Okay,
You can start the game.
let's start the game.
Not yet. I think we should wait for other participants.
It's okay. If they are,
It's okay. They can join.
it's okay. The game code is 554025. Okay, so we can see Lively here the score of the players. Okay, the first place is Diandusti and then followed by Wahyu. Yeah, remember you have to answer it quickly and correctly. If you answer it correctly, but you are late to answer that, okay, you will have low score for that. Yes, Devi Nuryanti Wahid at gmail.com. Catching up the understanding. Okay. Oh, Wahyu, you got wrong answer one of them. Two of them. Okay, the game will stop in about 5 minutes. Right, so we have already here two persons, three people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have Latif. You have to. Okay, Latif, now you are placed in number 2. Good job. We still have 4 minutes, Bapak Ibu, to finish the game, and then we will end the game and we will get the 20 top people who deserve to get the 3-month free access of the English Discovery. Great, so we have Wahyu Relisa Dengrum from position at 17. Now you move up to the 10th. Congratulations. All right, so we have about 2.5 minutes and we will end the game. Great. So Akif Alwi, now you are in the 15th position. Half minute. Oh, Akif Alwi, now you are in the 5th position. Good job. One more minute and then we will end the game. Oh, Lilia Dita, now you become the 4th at the top. "30 seconds to end the game." Okay, let me count to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and now I will end the game. And now let's see who is the winner. Who are the 20 people who win the game? Yeah, we're still waiting. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so we have 20 top people here. We have Dian Risti, we have Eka Susilawati, we have Lilia Dita, we have Latif, Ahmad Faisal, Yayu Herawati, Raida, Akif Alwi. Who is L here? I don't know. Maybe we could skip this person because he or she didn't use the name. Yusuf, Titis Dwi, Tri Saswandi, SKK. We are going to reach you out, the 20 people who get the 3 months free access for the English Discovery. Hello, Borauda. Are you
Yes.
here? Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
We'll contact these people with the
Yeah,
email.
how can you put their name on a list and then make sure that you have their phone number so that it will be easier for us to contact them? Is it possible, Pak Han?
Yes, it's very possible. Okay, we
Yeah, all
will
right. Good.
reach the moment. Okay, so that's all the webinar for today. Do we have Bu Wahyu?
I think we need to take photos, Pak
Yeah,
Handoko.
we will take photo here. Now, please, Bapak Ibu, would you please turn on your video so that we can take a photo of you.
Hello, we need to turn on the video and take
Please
photos
turn on
together.
the video, everyone.
Wow, let's see, my video is not clear again with the background.
Wow,
It's
I
beautiful.
can see
Yeah, maybe I
familiar
don't need
faces
to use the
here.
background.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, Now everyone please face the camera and I will count 1 to 3 to take the picture. Okay, ready? Everyone say peace. 1,
Peace.
3, peace. Okay, that's 1. Okay, now let's move to the next page. Okay, we have Wahyu Relisa, Pak Yusuf, Pak Andi, and so on. Okay, now would you please say, please, peace. Okay, wait a minute. There are many people are chatting. Okay, 1, 2, 3, peace. Thank you. Okay, now let's move to the next page. We have Iksan, we have Busartika, we have Ariza Purnawati, and so on. Okay. Now everyone please say peace. We have Pak Alfi, Bu Alfi, Bu Astuti. Hello.
Oh,
Okay, now let's scroll again. We have Bu Nesti, Bu Novi. What are your videos?
hello, Bu Nesti. How are you?
Miss Nadine. Okay, Bu Ramadina.
Bu Anis. Bu Anis Sulis, how are you?
Okay, now I will take the screenshot. Say peace.
Wahyu is taking picture as well.
Okay, now we move to
Taking picture my friend Bu Hari.
Amantia, Bu Fitria, Maisara, Ismainawati. Okay, would you please say, Bu Serlia, where is your video, everyone? Yes, thank you. Okay, next we have Yuniarti, Zulfa, Ana Rodiana, Kiki Denhas, Hawasi. Okay, thank you. Again, the last, wait a minute, we have here Munawar, Hawasi, Pak Sambang, everyone. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I will share the link for the last time for the attendance list for those for you who have seen the post before. Okay, so this is the link for the attendance list, and this is for the materials for today. Okay, everyone, thank you very much. Okay, don't forget to join the next webinar. We still have another webinar, very interesting webinar. So yeah, we have another webinar conducted by Linguistic and Literature Association with Faculty of Adab and Humanities. Okay, here we have, for example, gender, migration, and minority. So can't wait to seeing you again. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Laxman. Thank you, Pak Munawar. Thank you, Bu Yuniarti. Thank you all. Thank you, Bu Sartika, Bu Ariza,
Okay,
Bu
thanks
An.
everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you very much. See you in the next webinar.
We're not using webinar term again. Online seminar.
Bu Uni? Hello, Bu Uni. Would you
Yes.
please? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Bu Uni. Everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Bu Uni.
Hi, ma'am. Nice to meet
see
you all. Kangennya. Hope everyone is in a good condition.
Yeah.
Have we met before, Bu Uni? Like this is the first time I see your face.
Yeah, I think it's the first time, ma'am.
Yeah. So, Bu Uni, where were you from? Where you from?
In Makassar.
Oh.
Yeah, Uin Alauddin Makassar.
Uin Alauddin Makassar.
Yes,
We have Buria, Juwairia for the
Oh,
head of
yeah.
okay.
The head
Send
of
my regards
La.
to
Okay, I will.
Buria.
I
Okay.
will, ma'am. I will. Thank you for the material. Very interesting. For the UIN Sunan Ampel and Seven.
Okay, I'm sorry to mute you all. I would like to give another announcement for the participants who are willing to join another webinar, or online seminar conducted by the English department in collaboration with Linguistic and Literature Association we have here, the Christian and Minority. The keynote speaker is Professor Amani Lubis, Director of UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. The speaker is Bu Hasnul. Today she is the moderator of our online webinar seminar. The second speaker is Bu Rohmah Tami. If you are interested in joining the online seminar, you can register by clicking in your web browser bit.ly/webinar BSI webinar BSI Lita. Yeah, so that is the link for the next webinar. bit.ly/webinar BSI Lita. Okay. Okay, since that everyone still
here.
Yeah, I think we need to end
They
the
don't want to
session, Pak.
leave.
Yes, Bu Uni, you can unmute your microphone now and have a chat with others. Bu Rauda.
Okay, okay.
Halo Bu Uni, apa kabar?
Hai Bu Wahyu. Pak, Bu Wahyu pakai masker terus ini dari tadi.
Di kampus.
Oh, gitu.
Because she's not working from home. She's
I
at the
see.
office.
Yeah. Okay. I'm at home now because the how to say, the connection internet is not really good in the campus, so I should stay at home.
Better stay at home, Bu Uni.
Yeah.
Pak Alfian, I think I saw Pak Alfian.
Yeah, Pak Alfian is here, I guess.
Yeah, we'll try to check here. Pak Alfian. Oh, perhaps he's already
living
here.
Pak Andoko, I think we need to end the session now because we are live in YouTube. Maybe later we can make another session.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we forgot about it.
Okay.
Because we have a place to reunite.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
So, thanks. Yeah. See you when I see you, Bu Uni.
Yeah, you too, ma'am.
Iya, Mas Han.
Yes, Bu Wahyu. Is it okay that our voice are still heard by other participants because they are still here?
No, but I think you have to end the meeting.
Because there are many people still asking about the the quiz and so on.
Oh, okay.
We have one of the winner, L. He or she did not mention the name, so he tried to reach me.
I think we need to just end this and close this, and then you can share your WA or our WA number.
I see. Bapak Ibu ya. Okay, Bapak Ibu, for you who are still here, we would like to end the meeting. If you have questions about it, you may ask to our email sastrainggris@uinsby.ac.id. You can check it in your email in the reminder. Jadi silakan cek di reminder di sana. Kalau ingin menghubungi kami, silakan chat kami di email tersebut. Baik. Kami tutup dulu ruangnya. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum, Prof. Zuli. Saya end meeting ya.
Assalamualaikum.
Pak Mila, saya end meeting ya.
Okay.
Okay. See you.